one we're going to look at is the headpiece. Alright? The giveaway is probably in the name itself. We're going to pop the fans up sort of in our head shoulder area so that it looks like they're part of our costume and creating a bit of a headpiece look. So what we're going to do is take the fans wide, and then we're going to bring the arms up, 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 and then we're going to slightly cross them over themselves and bring them down over our necks. Now, with this position, there are two ways to do this. Now, your mobility in your shoulders is really what's going to define how you execute this move. Now, I do have an injury in this shoulder, which does prevent me from getting the arm completely where I want it to go from a movement point of view. But if I stop and pause and take my time, I can get it in position enough to show you what I'm talking about. So bear with me with this one. With the headpiece, what we're looking to do is, as I said, get the fans up above our head, yeah, and either make them look like they're a single piece, so they're just sat on the back of our shoulders or behind our head and, you know, part of our outfit, or we can bring them both up together and just create a bit of a holding position. So I'm going to go with the holding position again first. And then I'll sort of pause myself, slow myself down, and I'll show you the single position. Alright? So with the headpiece, like I say, you're bringing the arms up, you're bringing both fans up, and then you're looking to bring the arms up and behind the head. Now, if you're looking to sort of create a bit of movement, you can kind of swish your hips, you can do some movement with your legs. Yeah? What you might want to avoid doing is flapping them back too much, because what could happen is you could overextend your spine, yeah? But also you can start to strain the neck. So you have to think about the positioning of your face and your head when you're doing the headpiece, because you don't want to strain the neck in any way, all right? And you don't want to overarch that spine. So let me show you that again for the third time. You're bringing the arms up, you're sort of bringing the hands together behind your head, and you're just holding the fans slightly over each other, and you're just holding them. Mine are sort of resting on the back of my neck, yeah? And I'm leaning my head against them so that I don't tip my head forward, but I'm nice and tall, and then I can create my movement here. Alright? So that's your headpiece with single hand holds. If you're going for a double hand hold, now how you get yourself into this position, again, can be from lifting up, getting them in position, and then joining the hands. But because of my restriction in this shoulder here, I'm going to have to do that a different way. Okay? So I'm going to have to cheat and lay my fans straight on each other. So the other thing you can do is hold them as a single fan, alright, and then you can put them up behind the head, okay, but you can create them so that your elbow is actually hidden away from the fans, yeah? So, like I say, once I've got myself in that position, if I'm not having to do it through movement, I can just about hold it. But if I have to do it through movement, the restriction in this shoulder kicks in. But what I've done is I've got my elbows hidden. Yeah, into the fans. I've got my chin nice and tall. They're kind of crossed over each other to make it look like more of a single fan effect. And then I'm using my hands crossed behind my head to sort of keep them together and gently apply pressure to spread them out so they don't all close and collapse behind me. But what I'm not doing is pushing my head forward and creating tension, yeah? So depending how much movement you've got in your shoulders will depend how high you can get your elbows up and out of the way. If not, you might have to just start dropping the elbows and bringing them more out to the side. Okay, so that's your headpiece there, and like I say, you can do it with 2 single hand holds, or you can do it with a double hand hold and sort of hide your elbows into that move, alright? But unfortunately, due to my old injury, I struggle to get my elbow right up and into that position without sort of getting it into that move and making it look pretty and elegant. So I kind of have to stop and pause with that one. So you might need to find a mirror for that one to sort of see where it is in position, see where your elbows are at, or get your camera up so you can video yourself doing it. Get your sort of elbows into position, get the arm right up, right behind the fan, yeah? Get the hands sort of looking after the fans behind the head, but make sure again that you're not putting pressure on that head, leaning it forward. Keep that chin lifted and lean it back into the fan so that you can create the movement as well when needed. Alright? So that's your headpiece there. Have fun with it. I'll see you for the next.